So the new patch released today, and I've spent the afternoon grinding Elite Division rivals, trying out tactics. Little spoiler, not much has changed. I don't know whether anybody's shocked with that. But I'm going to give you guys my custom tactics for the Elite Division. Subscribe for the best tactics on YouTube. Let's try and hit 200 likes. And comment down below if you found anything out about this patch yet that you feel has really changed. Because it's very underwhelming, to say the least. If you want the cheapest FC24 coins to get ahead of the competition, check out MMO EXP by clicking the link down below and use code JAMBOO for 5% off. Okay, so this is my current team. It doesn't change too much because I don't play my own champs that often. If any of you guys are interested in me trying to hit you a 20-0 on your account, link is in the description. Got a few slots left for this weekend, so do let me know. But anyway, I'm going to show you guys what I've been messing around with this afternoon. Took me a little while to get used to Neymar's new picture. Usman has a new one as well. I don't know why they do it. Fair play to them though. I guess they're doing something right because they didn't do much in the patch. I'll tell you that. There is a few minor changes that we have adjusted our tactics to though, so it's not a waste of time for you guys at all. First thing I wanted to try was this 5-4-1, and the reason for that is because in the patch notes they said about like new attacking minded fullbacks. Basically their thinking behind that was they're going to nerf how deep you can play in a back five line. I'll be completely honest with you, like you're still defending in a back five. No real noticeable change, to be honest with you. Maybe they step up a little bit more and go on some more adventurous runs, but like, don't get it twisted. You are defending with 8 men behind the ball still. It's just how it is. But they're the tactics. I'm no longer running the 71 depth. It's not that the 71 depth has been completely patched. What I've found is the defence and the midfield are still pressing, but the forwards aren't as much, or at least don't seem to be at the moment. So I just tried out some other depths and it's working fine. But they're the tactics for the instructions on this one. Stay central, cover centre on both your centre mids, cut inside and get in behind. Very similar to a FIFA 23 setup, this in a 5-4-1. Balanced on the wing backs and overlap as well. So that is the 5-4-1. Not really the formation that I prefer to start in this year, but it's still pretty top tier in my opinion. Next up we have a 4-2-3-1. This is for those of you out there that like to play a little bit more possession based football. You can drop that right down to a 55 depth. You're going to be super solid defensively and it just works very well as a structure. Direct passing at 60 on the width, 6 players in the box, 2 on the corners and 3 kicks. And that is somewhat how I would try and line this up. You've obviously got your finesse shot player here, and as much as they said about the finesse shots getting nerfed, they still fly in, especially if you can green time them. No real difference, to be honest with you. You want to go for the 5-star skill and weak foot player in the middle. Neymar is the perfect cheap option. 2 box-to-box midfielders. We've got an Unreal Trivela player there in Puskas, and then a quick player up top with the 5-star, 5-star. Fullbacks are going to be mainly staying back. I think a lot of you guys will prefer that. I sometimes run them on balanced, even in a 4-2-3-1. But I'll show you what I've got set up here. Get in behind and stay forward on the striker. Stay forward and get into the box for the cam. Come back on defence, get into the box for the wide cams. And then cut passing lanes, cover centre on the CDMs. With this, I have Militao on stay back just because he's awful going forward. Like the amount he was costing me making overlapping runs. I just have it now so he stays back. But if he does randomly decide to go forward, it is an overlapping run. Theo, the same. Stay back while attacking. He's actually decent going forward. Like I say, you can mix it up, but in a 4-2-3-1 primarily, you would tend to have your fullbacks on stay back while attacking. We then have the 4-3-2-1, and this is what I actually start games in. It's what I believe is the best formation in the game. It's what you see at most pro level. So we're running the 60 depth away from the 71, as I said. Feel some slight changes, and I still think 71 depth is more than viable. I just honestly got a bit bored of it. So I just tried out the 60 depth and it was working more than fine. Direct passing, 60 on the width as well. One thing they mentioned in the patch notes was this midfield congestion. And people have always said to me that they thought my width was too high for a 4-3-2-1. Honestly, after this patch, it feels a lot better and balanced. Like using this 60 width, it actually feels pretty nice. I don't know how big the congestion change in the midfield really is because I've never used that lower width. Some pros are even using 40 width on a 4-3-2-1, but I find that this 60 is working really well. 6 players in the box. The reason I don't have it any higher than that is because if you do, you just have your centre mids like charging up the pitch and you leave a massive gap in the midfield, which is far from ideal. 2 on the corners and free kicks, and that is how I line it up. I've explained this a few times, but if you are new, you can get away with having just a normal attacker in one of the wide centre mid spots. And then the same applies to like a 4-2-3-1 with the cams. We've got our finesse player on this side, we've got a Trivela player, and then a 5-star striker, which is super important. Stay central getting behind, pick one side to have comeback on defence. On whichever side you pick, make sure that you have cover centre on that side and also the middle centre mid, and you're just going to defend in a 4-4-2. Very important because the 4-3-2-1 naturally is shocking defensively. So you need to change in a 4-4-2 just for when you're defending. Those instructions will do that. We have balanced on Theo Hernandez and overlap. He's actually good enough going forward, and the fullbacks traditionally are super important in this formation because you don't have a lot of natural width at all. So we have him on overlap. The reason I have Militao stay back is because, like I said earlier, he is just trash going forward. Absolutely trash. I'm looking forward to replacing him. Decent centre-back. The only reason I've had him at fullback for so long is because he's untradeable and he just fits in, like for chem and stuff. But in terms of, you know, as an offensive-minded fullback, absolute trash. Obviously, it's very important to have a all-out attack formation. I still think the 3-4-2-1 is the best one for this. Constant pressure, 100 depth. Obviously, only use this if you're actually losing with like 10 minutes to go, 20 minutes to go. Fast build-up, forward runs, 70 on the width, 7 players in the box. The reason you don't want that at 10 is because otherwise you have your centre-backs going forward. And the last thing we want is Virgil van Dijk, you know, trying to make something happen on the edge of the box. It's just not going to be ideal. They're just stiff trucks at the back, basically. 5 on the corners and the free kicks. That is how I line it up. Essentially, we've just got everybody getting in behind, getting forward. We do actually have balanced on the centre mids, but cover centre. But in terms of all the wingers and forwards, just all getting behind, and that works super well. But hopefully this works for you guys. Do let me know if you have any questions. We will have another gameplay tutorial on how to go 20-0 and play at a high standard coming out later tonight. So if you are new, make sure you subscribe. You guys have been loving those style of videos. I'll catch you on the next one, and peace.